It's been a while. Okay, I see there's Justin, Elizabeth. Oh, happy Mother's Day. You're going to see Doctor Strange? I didn't know there was a new Doctor Strange. I'm trying to think what's in that. I can't remember. I think I saw that in theaters. Favorite superhero? I'm really not a superhero person. Do I have a favorite superhero? No. That's my answer. Nope. I don't go see superhero things. I was like the worst person to go see a superhero movie with. Because it'd be like, you know that girl who sits in the movie and just judges the movie? Hi, Brian. I'm good. It's been a while and I feel like, this is weird, but I feel like a different person than the person who was doing these live streams like over the winter. I think I go through that a lot, where like I shift into like different versions of myself quite easily. Quite frequently. So I feel like I'm kind of living in a different, well, it's what I want to talk about today. I'm just a different version. But I'm good. How are you? Hi, Katie. Hey. What happened? What happened? Nothing happened. I guess something I've been like reckoning with is, this is like a lifelong lesson for me, which is like getting caught up thinking I have to do things, otherwise I'm letting people down, or like I'm letting myself down, like just getting caught up in that needing to show up, needing to like stay on the hamster wheel, needing to like kind of shove my own feelings aside and do whatever I have promised to do. It's not that like commitments aren't good. It's that I create these little like traps for myself where I'm like, it becomes like this self-punishing thing. It's not that it's self-punishing in its own way, but it's like I, for whatever reason, like in those scenarios actually like feel super vulnerable. It becomes something that like I don't want to do, even though like I'm the one deciding to do it. And so I just felt like, oh, I'm getting caught in that feeling like I have to do something. I have to be here. I have to like show up a certain way. I have to. And I'm not coming from like a powerful place. I'm not coming from a place where like it's really like reflecting my best self. So yeah, I stepped away. And like that's also just something, I don't ever want to be talking about different topics on here like coming from a place that isn't knowledgeable, that isn't like looking down from the mountain. I don't ever want to be talking from a place and like giving you guys any guidance that is just coming from me kind of being like stuck in my own situation and not seeing the bigger picture. And also I'll just say that like being feeling like, oh, I have to do this, I'm like trapped, I have to like be a certain way. It's a very small way of, and a very like, this is what I mean about like I trap myself, is it's because like it comes from a place of me feeling like if I don't, there's consequences. If I don't, I'm less than. If I don't, I'm like not enough. If I don't, there's something bad about me. And so from that place, like nothing I do wins. If I do it, I don't win because I'm buying into the thing of like, I have to keep this going. And if I don't do it, I'm buying into the idea that, oh, I didn't do it, I'm not enough or something like that. So yeah, I just stepped away and yeah, I stepped away. That's what I did. But I'm feeling like good now and kind of just more, I want to come from this like from a more powerful place, to put it like that. Yeah. You know, there are people in the world that others listen to, that they speak with authority and they speak with like a centeredness, and they speak, and it's like not even something really super valuable that they're even talking about, but there's something about their own self-concept that is like really, really strong, that they feel like, yes, I'm entirely allowed to talk about this. People care about this. I can like share myself. I can do this. I can like have this and have this opinion and just like give my voice. And, you know, and it has nothing to do with like the content that those people are sharing. It has everything to do with their self-concept, that they're like, yeah, whatever, I'm like here being myself and people love it. And I can just like show up and I don't have to worry about consequences in a way. It doesn't mean anything about me. And for me, like, I guess I've been looking at that being like, why don't I have that? Why am I like constantly having to prove myself? Why am I constantly thinking like, oh, there's something I'm not doing. There's something I have to do. There's something I have to be. There's something I have to like give up. There's something I have to care less about or care more about. Constantly trying to like put myself in a pretzel shape to please everyone. Okay. Hi, Slim Jim. Wait, what? A song will make you feel better, I promise. Yeah, I'm not gonna do a song today, okay? Relax, you got this. Yeah, that's pretty much, that sums it up. Oh, that's really nice. Thanks, Dressed. Everyone needs time away to reflect and find themselves again. Glad you're doing well. Yeah, thank you. Oh, you love my top? Okay, it's just green. Thanks. Hey, Fatal Framer. Yeah. Yeah, anyway. So, like, I really just want to check myself. I just feel like that's going to be something that I'm going to have to do, is it's like, where am I coming from? Am I on here trying to prove myself to whoever I think is on the other end? Or am I on here, honestly, like, from a place of just, like, freedom and, like, just being powerful and just, yeah, like, this is supposed to be fun, you know? So just really, like, needing to check myself and see where I'm coming from. And I guess that's what I want to talk about today. Hi, Chaos. That's partly why I'm, like, not wearing makeup or anything like that. I'm just very stressed, like, dressed down today. I'm just very, yep, gotta get back. So happy you're back, and happy Mother's Day. Thank you. How was your grandmother's birthday? Okay, so I want to talk about states today. And let's see. Does anyone know what states are? Happy Saturday. Oh, thank you, Justin. I am always more than enough. Don't let anyone tell you different. Yeah. That's like something that it's really easy to give others. It's sometimes hard to give to yourself. And it's like, I know it sounds, it's very simple, but it's also like a very complicated idea of like, you're enough. It's like, wherever you are, it's okay. It's enough. You're perfect. You are perfect. And I think part of the reason why it's complicated is because like we're always moving. It's always changing. And so with that change, we think like we have to be the change. Like we have to do something. We have to cause it. And like, no, it's just like happening on its own. It's happening on its own. I remember I was at a piano lesson, and what was it? Oh, so my piano teacher, I thought this was so interesting. Anyway, my piano teacher was talking about a past student of his who like used to be very um he was like really really talented, really really brilliant, but just didn't have the self discipline. Just never wanted to do that. Never wanted to have music be that for him. And then now he's older and he's back to playing piano. And my teacher was saying how like, oh, as the brain develops, different portions have like more fat or more protein or whatever, so the brain just changes with time. And I and I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true, okay? But I remember like sitting there thinking like, oh, if we just change with age, then like what is everyone so worried about trying to like change ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, trying to like manage our brains. If like time just does it for us, then what are we doing? Anyway, god damn it, the light was better. I'm still like a ghost on here. Okay, I'm gonna talk about states, and hopefully I'm gonna talk about this in a way that I have never seen spoken about, and I don't know why, but this is how I do it, okay? And this is something I've started to do in the past few weeks. Okay, would I say that states are your current emotional situation? So, states are the thing that your emotions and thoughts, your emotional situation comes from. States are like states of beingness, right? Because what you are is beingness. It's like the home from which you be, okay? And from that place are generated thoughts and feelings. That's at least how I really experience it and how I really see it and understand it. It could change the more that I explore this topic. But so I would say it's much bigger than emotions. And I think this is where like law of attraction, it's not that they get it wrong. It's that like, I think it's just really, really misconstrued. Really misconstrued. And I think actually what they're talking about whenever they're saying like feeling is the secret. For those of you who know Neville, the feeling is like, what would it feel like? It's really that simple. It's what would it feel like? And so this is something that I've been doing the past few weeks, which is like, what would it feel like if I was this person? Or if this was actually the situation? If I knew everything was fine? If I knew I was like loved completely? If I knew I was enough? If I knew I was beautiful? If like $1 million fell into my bank account right now? If I, whatever, like insert, you know, the thing that you think is going to make you feel better. Insert that there. And then it's like, what would that feel like? And I don't mean feel like, it's such a superficial level to be like, I would feel happy. Like, no, you would feel so much more, it would be so much more complicated than that. It would be like, and this is like really, really the thing that I experience the most, and it's quite consistent regardless of the situation. Most of the time for me, it's like relief. It's like there's a kind of peace, there's a kind of stillness, there's a kind of like, I have nothing to worry about. And I don't know if that's just me, but maybe that's an indication that whenever we like really want something, whenever we're like really putting something up on a pedestal saying like, this is the solution, this is the thing I want, I need this, it's coming from a state, right? We think we're like creating a solution in our mind coming from a state of, I'm down here, and the thing that will bring me relief, the thing that will bring me happiness is this other thing over there. Okay? And so the funny thing is though, you only want it because you actually are recognizing it as the embodiment of a state, of the state that you're craving. And maybe it's like a memory of another time that you felt that, or it's just a representation that has been really ingrained into your mind. And advertisements, do this all the time. You know, like you have a car driving through the woods. It's like a commercial for an SUV. And it's like, you know, a wide shot, and there's like, and what they're representing with that shot is like freedom, is power, is like, I think those are the big ones, is like adventure. You know, they're representing another state of being that they're saying, you get to have this with the car. Okay, you get the car, that's what you get to feel. That's what you get to be. That's like, you sit in that car and you sit in that state. And the thing is, you're completely free at all times, okay? I really think the only point of will, like willpower, no, not willpower, free will, that's what I'm thinking of. Free will is actually selection. We're always just selecting things, and we think that like it's happening to us, but no, like we're generating it, we're selecting every single moment, and we're actually changing states all the time. And so the thing with the car, of like that sense of adventure, you are only recognizing it. You're like, ooh, I like that. Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from, that recognition of adventure? It's coming from you. Like, you can't be aware of something that you're not creating, that you're not already, like, I hate this word, but kind of like vibing with, you know? Like, it's you pushed out and you're going, adventure. But if you can sense, if you can watch that commercial and get that feeling just from that commercial, that means that that feeling, that state is available to you at all times. Okay? So like, you don't need the car. I'm not saying that like you can't have the car, but I'm saying like the car is a manifestation of you living in that state and believing that that state is natural for you. And so the more that you live in a state, the more that like the outside world is going to get reflected and pushed out by that. And I'd also say that like that's how your world is created, because the state is kind of like a solid structure from which everything else can produce, can like manifest. Okay, so it's like the most important thing. I think it just doesn't get talked about because people think it's complicated, and it's actually not. Another thing that this is like the original piece that no one I know has really talked about, which is like, okay, so this is a few years back, but I was on a beach, and I like came up with this game. Maybe it's not even a game, and I don't know if I've talked about this, where I realized that I could like project myself into other people. Okay, so I was like sitting on the beach and I'm just like watching everyone go by. And I just realized, oh, I can like feel into every person on this beach. And there'd be like an 8-year-old and there'd be like a 70-year-old, and I was like, I can feel them. And part of this is probably just like, I'm sensitive. But another part, like, it wasn't just like, oh, I can like feel what they're feeling. I was like, I can feel what it's like to be them. I can like, whatever, I don't know, on this beach, whatever, this is the game I played, and I like played this for like, I don't know how much time, but it was like, I can kind of like go into their eyeballs and be like, oh yeah, this is what it feels like to be me, and to like, that's my mom, and that's like, and we're on the beach, and I could like kind of be inside their body even. I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to have this size body, or like this shape of a body. This is what it feels like. And it was like a really interesting experiment, and I kind of put it away. It kind of made me think like, oh, I guess we're all really connected, you know, or I probably like chalked it up to empathy or something like that. But something that I've been working with again lately is like, if there's anyone you admire, or if there's anyone that you're just like, oh, I want to be them. Okay, again, you're only recognizing that I want to be them because they are representing a state that is already present within you, right? Because you can only be aware of something that you are. They're representing it. You're seeing it in them, meaning it's accessible to you. And so if you want to like embody that state, you can just kind of like put yourself into that person. So this is more than like, what would Jesus do or something? It's like, no, put yourself into that person. Just like for a split second, just like be in their life, how you imagine their life to be. and just like sit in that and feel that. And don't worry so much about pushing thoughts or emotions. In fact, I'd say like never worry about that. That's not your job. Your job is to like anchor yourself in the state and just be like, what is it I think? Like, why do I even want this? Like, really, anything that you want, just give it to yourself and then kind of be like, what does this give me? Like, okay, I'm there now. Why do I want this? Why do I like this? What is this like? What would it feel like if I already had this? And a few things might come up, like your fears might come up. If ever you're like, oh, I think I have resistance to something, cool, that's the quickest way. That's the quickest way to figure it out. Because immediately when you're inside of it, those fears are going to come up saying like, hey, well, we don't get to do this. So they're going to try to stop you. Or like the reasons that you want will become clearer and clearer. And the more that you sit inside that, the more like, how do I say, it'll just, yeah, like clarity. That's the best way I can put it, is like, you'll feel it'll just get sharper for you. And I think the more that you live there, the more that you place anchors within that new state, the more that you have thoughts associated with being in that state, the more that you have feelings associated with being in that state. You have visuals, you have sounds, but it's all very, I'm not going to say that it's complicated, but it's a little bit more subtle. It lives on like a more subtle realm, which I think is right. Like, and the other thing about this is you're living in a state all the time, and you're moving and shifting between states all the time, all the time. So like, you're not really aware of a state when you're inside of it, you know? And so you can see something else and you'll notice the difference, but you won't necessarily notice where you are. This is why, like, when you really change, when you really like upgrade, or you look back sometimes at periods in your life and you're like, what the hell was that? I can't believe I used to think that. I can't believe I used to feel that. But at the time, of course, it just felt like water to you. You're the fish and it's water. It just felt normal, and you didn't realize that you were actually like sitting in something. You were living in something that you thought was acceptable, that you thought was normal. And so it's really as simple as just like shifting it and being like, we're going to go to another state right now. Even if it doesn't feel normal yet, we're going to make that normal. And it's just like moving into another house. The more that you spend time there, the more you relax into it. And like, even just within a few days, something interesting that is happening for me is that I recognize that it's like harder for me to find the states, and I think it's that it's getting more subtle as it like becomes more natural. Does that make any sense? It's like less pronounced because now it's kind of getting mixed in to like my natural home state, if that makes any sense. So, and something too that I've been doing within this, and like I recommend, is I've been doing this right before bed, pretty much like as I'm falling asleep, is I'll like conjure up. Sometimes it's like one, sometimes it's a few, and I'll kind of like jump between them, like different states that that I want. Yeah. And the other thing with this too is like whenever I find that I'm upset. Yesterday I was like having a bad day, having a hard day, and I think this is just like a good practice for anyone, is whenever, first of all, like, don't make a story about it, it's fine. The thing about this too with states is it's like you can have a state that is optimal, is like preferred, and within that, if it's like a really powerful way of being in the world, bad things can happen and you don't care as much. In fact, I'd say that if problems are arriving and like confronting you in the face, you're identifying with a really small, powerless part of yourself. And so your job is to be like, I'm not at the level of my problem. I'm actually so powerful. I'm so big. I created this. So I'm above this. I am bigger than this. I encapsulate this. Okay? So no problem is bigger than you. You are always bigger than the problem. And if you feel like the problem is bigger than you, you're misidentifying yourself. Okay? You're getting caught in a state of powerlessness. All right? So it's up to you to like think up, okay, what would it be like if this problem was microscopic? If this was nothing to me? And use whatever comes to mind to find that, to locate that. It's like, okay, if Elon Musk had a bill, how would that be for him? Do you think he would give a, you know? And that's just like saying that, I can kind of imagine something, which means that that's accessible to me. I can kind of go live there a little bit more. Yeah. So that's it. I think the thing about realizing you're powerful and you're bigger, guys, just make yourself bigger. Wherever you are in life, whatever you're up to, wherever you're starting from, make yourself bigger. Make yourself so big, so powerful, so bright, so important, so loved, so adored, so beautiful. Like, just build that up in yourself and watch everything else get really simple and really like manageable and really easy, and little things can come up and you're just like, I don't care. I don't care because I'm up here. I'm up here. Yeah, that's something I was like doing. My parents, I feel like I've talked about this a lot, but like my parents sometimes have normal arguments. They're not even arguments, but like just normal like, and I read it as arguments and I get like triggered. I'm like, I'm not safe. Safety is like a big thing for me. And this past week it was like, I think I'm smaller than this. I think my world would be rocked by this argument. I think like this is important, and this is probably just like childhood stuff, you know, when I was this little small thing, and they decided everything, you know, and it was like, okay, I need to like puffer fish myself up. And I noticed just like doing that, just within like a few minutes, it was like, I don't care if they're fighting. Like, you don't care if two ants are fighting. Not that they're like inconsequential, but make yourself big, 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 big in your world. You're not being a narcissist by doing that. You're actually like owning who you are. And also, don't you want to make yourself big so that you can like make things happen? Make things happen for the good. Like, if you're making yourself this small, how are you going to affect anything in your life? How are you going to do anything? How are you going to help anyone if you're this and powerless and scared? How are you going to do anything? How's that helping anyone? Make yourself so small. So small. How's that helping anyone? Okay. That's everything. So yeah, I hope I like explained states in a good way. I really think it's like, that's where you want to go. Okay. You have to go walk to the gym, work out now. Yes, go work out. Working out is amazing. Thanks, stressed. Some of us might crack jokes to laugh and have fun, but truthfully, and I say I can speak for everyone here when I say we're all here because you worked on my elbows. Thank you, Justin. That's really nice. So like the concept of the state of powerlessness, the key is the state. States can change, and we can change from powerlessness to empowered. Yeah. States change all the time. You're changing all the time. And also I'd say like, I've heard this talked about, and I guess I understand that like there's this state of like you can think of it like a role that you're playing. So, you know, like you're in a different state with your mother than you are with your sister. Potentially. You're in a different state when you're like talking to a police officer than you are talking to a cashier. So we like naturally shift into these different roles, into these different states. But the trick is like we think that the outside world is dictating that, not that like we're the ones selecting them, right? So literally, it is that fast. Like you can literally within like the snap of a finger go from powerless to empowered. If you just remember that you're the one choosing it and like you stay awake, you know? So if you find like and a good indicator is just like your feelings. Is like, okay, if you're actually in a state of power, chances are you're not going to feel stressed. Chances are you're not going to feel scared. You're not going to be afraid if like you know that you can take on anything. Yeah, and you're not going to have fearful thoughts. So for me, like obsession, fearful obsession, like needing constantly to check, oh, that's a good indication I'm not feeling relaxed and confident. I'm not bigger than this, right? So that's like really something that I've been working on is like, okay, I can try to manage this. I can try to fight these thoughts. I can try to like get myself into a better feeling mood. And all of those things are good, but it's like, where's this coming from? Why am I acting this way? Why am I thinking this way? What place am I coming from that is generating all of this, you know? And that's much deeper. That's much deeper is like, who is the person that doesn't give a shit? Who is the person that laughs at this? And if I can imagine that, it means I can find it. It means I can embody it. I can have it. And that happens instantly. So yeah. And again, like, I just say use people. Use them. Use television shows if that's helpful for you. Like, they're models for you of how to be, what's possible for you to be in the world. And it's not about acting. Like, you don't have to act as if. It's about being as if. It's like, what do I recognize in that person that I like so much that, oh, you know, when I watch Don Draper, I wish I was like Don Draper. Why? What is it you think it would be like to be Don Draper? And be that in your head. And naturally, you should start to think and act. Like, take action in the world from that place. Whereas, very different, if you're coming from a place of powerlessness, going, I wish I was Don Draper. I don't know why I'm using him as an example. I wish I was Don Draper, so I'm gonna try to do this because I think that's something that Don would do. You're actually keeping yourself stuck in that place of, I want to be this over here. So the trick is to just like, I don't care about the actions. I'm just gonna jump to the end. This is another way of like living in the end. Or coming from. I really like the expression coming from. Where are you coming from? Hi, Brian. You have to go. Working in the morning. As always, it was lovely to see you. Oh, thank you. It's nice to see you too. Or, you know, see you. Hello, fish. I can tell you've been stressed. What happened the last couple of weeks? Nothing happened. It's been okay. I don't know. It's been okay. I don't know. It feels like it's been so long. Yeah, just going through it. Just going through it. Sometimes I wonder if I'm like taking on too much of wanting to improve myself, whether it's like too much and I'm perfectly fine the way I am, or like whether I'm absolutely on the right path and it's like I'm doing all the right things and it's all gonna pay off, you know? And I think it's somewhere in between. It's like I recognize so much of places I have been that I didn't even see at the time where they were coming from, you know? And why I thought, like, well, this is just, I don't know, it's just whatever, life. I thought, well, this is as good as it gets, or like, this is what it's supposed to be like. It's so crazy when you come out of it and you're like, oh my goodness, my whole life. My whole life. My whole life. There's this picture. There's this picture of me as like a 4-year-old girl. I think it's on my Instagram. And I look so sad. So sad. I'm like this. I'm good at pouting. And I think I like posted and made some like joke about it. I forget where it is. Maybe I'll post it later. Anyway, I literally was just like, oh yeah, whatever. Sad Janessa. Like, isn't that funny? Isn't that so cute? And then it was just today I was like, that's my birthday. Why do I look so miserable? I'm 4 years old. Why do I look so miserable? And why is this the first time I'm asking myself that? You know? So, whatever. I just think it's like an ongoing journey of life. And also, by the way, as to like what was going on yesterday, I think I've just been like really, well, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what this is about, but I was very triggered watching Amber Heard's testimony. So, I don't know what that's about. I think also like just conflict of any kind. I'm like, don't fight. I just don't like any scenario where someone is painted to be the villain. Yeah, I'm just like not okay with it. I'm just so quick to want to defend every side, and I don't know what that's about. So that's what yesterday was going on. Yesterday was going on. Yeah, that's a sentence. You wish you were Dwight Schrute. Okay, be Dwight Schrute. That's actually so fun. Okay, cool. What's it feel like to be Dwight Schrute? To be frank, I don't think enough people are as self-aware as you. I think you're setting a good example. Thank you, Katie. That's really nice. I think I have a friend who was like, you're very self-aware as a person. I mean, I take that as a compliment. I think, unfortunately, like, I am that way because of, as like a self-defense mechanism. I think like as a kid, it was like, oh, I need to know what I'm doing at all times to like monitor myself, to watch myself, to be careful. So I became like super self-aware that way. I think it's also why like I've never like abused anything. I've never like gone to excess on anything because I'm too self-aware to do that. I'm like, I have to know what's going on. I have to know what's going on. I have to figure it out. I have to know what's going on. So that's like a place that I just easily come from, right? So it's like a blessing and it's not a curse, but I don't know, that's the best way I can put it. Have I been working on any new TV projects? Not at the moment. I've been auditioning though. Yeah, and I've been writing. Yeah. Been writing a romantic comedy. Because I was like, this is the thing that I like watching, so I want to try to write something like that. It's going okay. It's going okay. I'm kind of like really enjoying right now being like, okay, so I know I've seen so many things that I can foresee where this goes, where this scene goes, or like what happens between these characters. And I'm kind of enjoying being like, how can I surprise myself? Like, how can it not be what you expect? And so almost every scene I'm like, how can I make this like fresh and original? How can I make this like relatable, real, but take it in like a completely different direction? Because I find that's what life is really like. We have like expectations of how a date is gonna go, or how like who a person is, or you know, where things lead, and then almost always it's more interesting and more original. What about new music? I again, it's been tricky because I've been going through so many states, like changing states a lot. So I think I've talked about this a lot, where I was like recognizing that when I was making music, I was making it from a specific place that was really, I mean, it was what it was. It was like kind of sad and lonely and plaintive, to put it that way. And then being like, I don't want to live in that story anymore. I don't want to be that person anymore. So how do I make music from that place? And it continues to evolve. So because I also like I don't like enjoy just, I don't know, I don't want to write like Disney songs or something. So it's just been like trying to find a solid setting from which to make music is like something I'm trying to do. But I did like open up my Ableton, so it's still happening, and I've been playing a lot of piano. So yeah, like honing my musical skills, if it were. You know, where this how about a song? Why do you like hearing it? I haven't been singing, so I don't know where my voice is at, honestly. I haven't been singing the past few weeks. So, I don't know. I can't even think of a song off the top of my head. Yeah. So I'm really sorry, Justin. I don't think I'm gonna do a song, because I can't think of one. Just a second. Hi, oh, thank you. No time's better than the president? Did you mean to write that? I can't think of a song. Nah, I'll do one next week. Or if I decide to go live. Yeah. If I decide to go live sometime this week. No, you don't want to hear it. Honestly, it's not in good shape. Okay? All right. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? You can't finish your research. You want to quit. Hi. Hey, Nadine. It is a Canadian $50 bill. It's very plasticky. I've got to be in a musical state to create music. Yeah, that's probably that's probably the best way to put it. Why can't you finish your research? Why do you want to quit? What's going on? So things like that, like needing to get homework done, research done, go to the end. Go to the end. Go to the end of like, I finished my research, right? What's the state of you having finished it? What's that like? What's that like? And I need to remember to do this all the time. It's like so often we go into things without, it's almost like without a plan, right? So even like music, that's a great example. Like I could just be like, I've done a song I'm really happy about and keep that in my head and then apply myself to making music and trust that wherever it's like we get so caught up in what we think it is, not realizing that we're determining every second what something is. Well, yeah, it's so hard and it took so long, so many pressure from environment. Okay, fair. First of all, you don't have to finish. I think that's something that like, you're free, okay? You're free. You always have choice. So you can get out of it, you know? You can go to the end of like, I didn't have to do it after all, and it was fine. That's a choice too. But then with all of those things, like pressure, it being hard, really difficult, whatever, it's like, so can you change that story? Can you be like, it was so easy, there was no pressure, it came out of me like it was so free, it was like really relaxed, and just like trust what comes up to lead you there. So instead of being fixed with like what you think this thing is, and I know if you've been at it a long time, it can be like, but this is what it is. But you have to like, no, I decide what it is. So I'm going to change this. This is easy. This is easy. This is easy. And like feel into what this is easy is like. This is something I have to constantly remind myself at the piano is like, what would this be like for Glenn Gould? Like, what would this be like if this piano was like another limb for me and I was so at home here? How would I approach this song? How would I be with this song? What would it be like practicing? Wouldn't it be like natural and enjoyable and fun? Wouldn't I trust myself? Like I wouldn't feel pressure, right? Because I would trust myself. I would know what I'm capable of. And with your environment too and feeling pressure, it's like you're creating that pressure. It's all coming from you. So are you bigger than this? Are you bigger that like you get to determine, oh, whatever, this is just natural and easy, and actually there's no pressure. There's no pressure. I just feel like free and good about it. Was that my mom? Yes, it was. No sound. I have sound, don't I? I think there's sound. Unless you guys have just been like watching me mime this whole time. I know you needed some time away from doing the live streams, but my birthday, oh no, no, no. My mom's birthday is April 25th. Oh, I'm sorry, Matthew. Happy birthday. I'm so sorry. So you're a Taurus. I'm so sorry. Let's pretend I gave a live stream just for you. And I dedicated it all to you. I'm so sorry. And I hope you had a great day. Because you deserve it. And every day is your birthday. Like, technically, whatever. Birthdays are weird. Every day is your birthday. It's just not a full, like, cycle around the moon. Or whatever it is. Cycle around the sun. Okay. I don't have a song for you, Justin. So, you're just gonna have to live with that. Because I literally cannot think of one. And my voice, nah. Alright? So you're gonna have to live with that, and that's fine. Alright. I'm probably gonna go. So, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. I love you so much. And, yeah. I'm curious as to where these live streams are going from here on in. Hopefully more like this. I think I really want to, like, just bring chill, like, good, happy vibes, but I also, how do I want to say this? Like, I've really kind of been focused on, like, oh, I just want I want my channel to help people. I really want to, like, make a difference. Even if it's just with one person, I just, like, I want to be that for them. And I still want that. Of course I want that. But I guess I am moving more into a phase in my life where I'm like, I do not have to be this, like, selfless entity who, like, I only want to be of service. I only want to be, like, it's okay. This channel can be a lot of things, and it can be, like, a place for me to just, like, have fun. Yeah. So hopefully I'm going to be moving more into that. Am I going live next week? Yeah, I will say yes. Hey, Austin. Thank you. No, see? So I'm going to stand up to you right now, and I'm going to say, not today, okay? If I'm feeling especially generous, I will create some kind of short for you, specifically, Justin. All right, but not right now, okay? So I love you so much, and I hope this was informative, instructional. I hope you guys are able to, like, take this. I really want you to take these. Oh my God, Justin. Ugh. Okay, fine. I'm going to sing happy birthday to Matthew if you're still here. Because that's the only thing I can think of to sing. That's the only thing I can think of. So, Matthew, this is for you. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay? That was for you, Matthew. Happy birthday. All right. And with that, I am signing off. Okay. Bye.